everybody, welcome back to the channel. Here we are talking about running yet again. It's what we do here. In case you guys missed it, go back and check things from yesterday. We had a lot of fun dressed up and doing some Halloween type stuff. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about something very different, and that is running and how to sort of break things down in a way that makes everything manageable. And it's something that I thought about today while I was out for my run. I'm already done a month, I did a month of my run streak so far. Today was day 32, and I realized that I'm 1/12 of the way through. Sure, 1/12, that seems like kind of a weird fraction, but then you start thinking about it, that's 8.33%. I only need to do this 11 more times and my yearly run streak is complete. So I do that. I use that methodology a lot. I try to break things down into manageable chunks. And, it's interesting because you can really apply this to so many different things. So for me, in the context of just the run streak today, I was thinking about, I just need to do this 11 more times. That's nothing. But you can also do that in a marathon. A marathon's a little bit tougher because you start thinking about running 8.5 5Ks. It's a little bit daunting. But if you start breaking it down a little bit, like, okay, I'm 10K in, just another couple of 10Ks, and then it's the final grind. Or you get to the 20-mile mark and it's like, all right, just 10K to go, we're good. And then just break it down by maybe 2 or even 5K chunks at that point. In shorter races, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of use that methodology, especially in like a 5K, because then you just know, okay, first K, take it easy, don't go out like a fool. K 2, 3, and 4, just hold, just hold it, and just make sure that whatever it is, whether it's 4 minutes or 5 minutes per kilometer, just checking, all right, I'm on pace. And then once you hit that 4K mark, all right, I've only got a kilometer to go, I can just give it all I've got left. And so for me, that's what I love to do in a race situation. But I can also do it in training as well. There are times that I'm just out there on a run and I've got sort of a loose goal in mind. It might even just be like an easy day, but like today, for example, I've been pretty fatigued the last couple of days. Just kind of felt like I had the stuffing knocked out of me a little bit the last couple of days. So while yesterday's run, just 10 minutes on the treadmill, was really tough, like super, super tough, just a mile run. Today wasn't as bad, but it was still like, damn, this is not easy. And it was just a very slow, easy, gentle jog on the trail. And it was only like 3.5 kilometers, so a little over 2 miles. But I just used a little bit of that breakdown, like, okay, well, I only need to go up to here. It's only another like maybe 400 meters, and then that can be my turnaround point. I'll have this nice smooth downhill, slightly downhill, it's the trail, but slightly negative grade for about a kilometer. And then all I got to do is get up over that last hill and cruise on to home. So it always just helps to break things down into manageable chunks. And since I've been doing that as a runner, it's amazing how much that's crossed over into my personal and professional life as well. And there are times that I'm extremely, extremely busy with work. I'm just like the list is just insane. Basically what I do, without getting into too much detail, is I do estimating, sort of like make proposals sort of things. So I do require input from other people, but a lot of what I do is just like manual input into something like Excel, and just gathering information into one package. So it can be a little bit overwhelming at times, but you just got to break it down, break it down into manageable chunks. And I write out my list every day, like, okay, I do this step, then I'll do this step, then I'll do this step. And then I force myself to take a break, take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes, whatever it is, go back, wrap those things up in a package, put a bow on it, and send it out. And then, go on to the next thing. Because if you start thinking about, and it's kind of like when you're in a marathon, if you're 5K into a marathon and you're like, wow, this is already starting to feel a little bit tough, and you start thinking about, wow, I've got another 37.2 kilometers to run, that's going to just get you nowhere. You're going to be like, oh shit. But if you're feeling a little bit tough in it feels a little bit tough in a marathon. You're only 5K in. You can break it down and say, all right, well, that's fine. I'm here now. Let's dial back a tiny little bit and just ride it out the next 5K. Let's see where we are at 10K. And then let's see where we are at 15, at 20, at the halfway point. And it becomes way easier just to adjust and assess things on those smaller chunks. And then, maybe it doesn't turn around for you. Maybe it still sucks and maybe things don't go your way on the day, but at least you give yourself a chance by, instead of thinking about, this next little bit you've got to do. And then the next little bit, you start thinking like, I'm here and I've got to get all the way to here. That's just the wrong way to think about it. But yeah, anyway, just some thoughts that were on my mind today because I was out there and realized, wow, I've already done a month run streak. This is crazy. I mean, I run streaked in 2018, did every day that year, and ran 2 marathons, trained heavily for those 2 marathons. So I forget what my total yearly mileage was, but I mean, I was putting in some good weeks. It's not like I was just running the minimum mile every day. I averaged over 7 kilometers a day, or about 4.5 miles per day for the entire year. So sure, there were some low days there, and a few where I did only do the minimum mile to keep the streak alive, like the day after a marathon especially, or if I was not feeling great, or if it was like a really just torrential downpour and I didn't have a treadmill at the time. Then yeah, there were some days, but overall, my average run was probably getting out there doing like 8 kilometers. It would be nothing for me to go out and do an 8K or a 10K every day and feeling really good about it. So one of the things that I was also thinking about today is like right now I'm a month in, and while that's great, I need to remember that this isn't 2018 and I'm not in the same shape. I don't have the same short-term running history. Like this last year hasn't been as consistent and hasn't been the same as what I was leading into that 2018 run streak. So I also don't want to compare myself with what happened then. I can look back and remember that, okay, yeah, things started off really nicely and then I progressed, and that's, my goal now, especially as I start training probably in like January, February. I'll start kind of kicking up the training, introducing lots of workouts and stuff because I've got a spring half marathon I'm going to go for, personal best. But, it's really about just remembering that while I'm already a month in, and that's great, this is a real baseline step in the overall grand scheme of things. This is just me building up my base again, and I'm going to do this for at least 3 months before I'm throwing any real hard efforts out there, because there's no point. I don't want to be working too hard right now and either A, risking injury, or B, just like overexerting myself when I don't have any kind of an event or anything like that. I'm just going to train, steadily, train consistently, and just get those easy days feeling super easy, and just, watch my pace naturally increase and progress at a lower effort. So that's where I am right now. But yeah, just, hey, a 12th the way through already. It feels like we just started this thing on October 1st, and here we are November 1st already. It is awesome, and just wanted to share some thoughts with you today. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your training is going well as well. If you are doing a run streak, or if you have ever thought about doing a run streak, let me know down in the comments, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.